Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Renton Live, episode 35. I'm Dave, and I'll be your host for the next few minutes. Tonight's episode will be an Erasmus the Dragon marathon with a new skit at the end that we're calling a silver lining dumpster fire. Kind of fitting for this year. So, along with tonight's episode, we have a challenge for all of you in Renton, where you can win a $100 gift card to a local favorite, Rain City Catering. So the marathon contains a total of 7 Erasmus skits. And as you watch, see if you can answer these 3 questions correctly. The first question is, Erasmus wears a variety of neckties in these episodes. How many different neckties does he wear? And what is on each necktie? Question number 2 is, throughout these episodes, there's lots of fun sound effects, and one of them is a bike horn. How many times do you hear the bike horn through all these episodes? And then the final question is quite the challenge. I will be impressed if somebody gets this, so you'll really need to do some detective work. There is one Pokemon that makes an appearance in one of the episodes. Who is the Pokemon, and what scene does it make an appearance? It's a challenge. So, submit your answers by January 5th to info@gorenton.com, and the winner will be announced in our January 6th episode of Renton Live. So after I exit stage left here in a minute, we'll post the questions again and the submission details. So thanks again for tuning in to Renton Live this evening. If you're watching via YouTube, go ahead and click on that button that says subscribe. It's red box with white text. You move your cursor over it and click. Simple. If you're watching on Facebook, give us a like. Either way, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next year. Cheers.
Good evening, I'm Erasmus the Dragon with DTR News 1. The Washington State Department of Health accepted a plan to allow for limited openings of recreational, social, and business activities in a modified Phase 1, or what's being called Phase 1.5. Establishments throughout downtown Renton have been reopened this past week to much excitement. There are limitations like 25% capacity of shoppers and patrons maintaining a distance of 6 feet. Fred Fickelstein with the city volunteered to help enforce the limitations by using his trusty measuring tape and his handheld tally counter. Road work in downtown Renton continues and remains loud and annoying, similar to visiting in-laws. New traffic signal changes were implemented at South 3rd Street intersections and consist of all-way stops at Wells and Williams. We're being told there's an increase of welcoming hand gestures, intriguing exclamations, and an abundance of niceties in which drivers insist that you go first, and no, you first, followed up with, please, I insist that you go first. And finally, the Renton Farmers Market reopened on June 9th, and yesterday they completed their second successful day. This is a huge deal, people. Although different in many aspects from seasons past, The market continues on with happy shoppers perusing the booths of local farmers and bakers. However, there was a small incident as a shopper attempted to take a leak. They ended up buying 3. Reporting live from downtown Renton, I'm Erasmus the Dragon, soaring high with DTR News 1. Thank you, Christy. I'm Erasmus the Dragon with DTR News 1. Last week, King County applied for... Last week, King County applied for... To the surprise of many, trees and shrubbery have been removed as part of the downtown Renton Wells and Williams conversion project. A Common Ground employee went from barista to superhero in seconds flat. She prevented the removal of a 30-year-old maple tree. Her actions caused the project manager to direct the contractor to hold off on the removal of the tree, allowing the concerns of the community to be heard by the city. I commend this level of compassion for nature. Thank you, Mystery Barista. And now a sports update with Gus Verde, who's on location.
Hey Erasmus, I'm here at the historic Renton Memorial Stadium, and the field we're on is going to be replaced with the first Hellas Matrix turf in the state of Washington. We're number 1, guys. Let's go, Renton. 3 high schools and 4 middle schools in the Renton School District perform at this classic stadium. This high-tech field has a superior level of resiliency, stability, and durability. And the shape of the granules reduces the field temp by as much as 20 degrees. Now that'll cool things down. Hellas is also resurfacing the track that surrounds the field. All this new stuff increases the safety of Renton student athletes, and best of all, the field was purchased through the King County Directors Association Cooperative. This is Gus Verde with DTR News 1. Back to you, E.
Thank you, Gus.
And finally, we're now going to speak with Ross Hudspeth from Four Generals Brewing. Welcome, Ross.
Howdy, Erasmus. Glad to be here.
For our viewers at home, tell us about Four Generals Brewing.
Four Generals started in 2013 as a garage-based brewery with a buddy of mine, and in 2014, Mary and Mike, my mom and dad, stepped in and said, let's make a proper brewery that Renton can be proud of.
Excellent. What is Four Generals known for?
Here at Four Generals, we specialize in German beer. We use water, malt, hops, and yeast to formulate our beers, and we do it in the German tradition of their purity law.
So, you're a scientist.
I like to think of myself more as a yeast wrangler.
And you've been open throughout the pandemic.
During COVID, we've been open the whole time for Growlers to Go. I want to say thank you to everybody who supported us. Now that we're in phase 2, we have 12 seats total, 6 inside, 6 outside. We're open 7 days a week.
Sounds like plenty of room to enjoy a pint. Thanks for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Renton. We love all y'all. Prost.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ross Hudspeth from Four Generals Brewing. That's all we have for the show tonight. Special thanks to the Renton Reporter for doing the actual reporting. I'm Erasmus the Dragon, soaring high with DTR News 1. I'm Erasmus the Dragon with DTR News 1. During the month of July, Renton generated some interesting stories. The following is our month in review. July began as it always does by celebrating the country's birthday. Fireworks were once again banned in the city, and by banned I mean totally acceptable. Employees of the city's Recreation and Neighborhoods Division and Human Services Division handed out 20,000 masks which were free for residents. This has helped Rentonites comply with the governor's order mandating the wearing of masks across the state. The Reckon Neighborhoods Division also ran multiple campaigns in which people participated from the comfort of their own home. This included Trivia Tuesday, Camping Out, and Project Cuckoo. The city accumulated $1.4 million in CARES Act relief funds, which is available for small businesses. Renton businesses with up to 5 employees, including the owner, can get a maximum of $5,000. From 6 to 15 employees can get $10,000, and from 16 to 25 employees, up to $15,000. In addition to the relief funds, an emergency ordinance was passed that will make it easier for small businesses to sell goods and advertise. This also includes new permits for outside seating on sidewalks and parking lots. And finally, the Renton School District announced that it is now planning for full-time remote learning at the start of the coming school year. I suggest they focus on a universal option. Now let's welcome a person who's created a buzz in downtown Renton. Ephraim Fasaha from Boon Boona Coffee. Welcome to the show.
What up, Erasmus? How's it going up there?
It appears as though I've cracked the building, but we're fine. Thank you. For our viewers at home, tell us about Boon Boona Coffee.
Boon Boona Coffee is based in the amazing downtown Renton, and we source coffee only from the continent of Africa. We roast it beautifully here in our space with our incredible team.
Like many businesses, you've had to adapt to current circumstances. How are you operating today?
We are open 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., 7 days a week as a result of COVID. We've got a to-go or curbside pickup component. You just walk up to the front of our door, order your delicious drink or pastry, and we'll send you on your merry way.
Now, what exactly does Boon Boona Coffee mean?
Boon or Boona is how we say coffee in East Africa and even parts of the Middle East. So the word Boon is coffee, the word Boona is coffee, and the word coffee is coffee. So, coffee, Boon Boona Coffee.
Thanks for joining us this evening. Glad to have you on.
Thank you for looking over downtown Renton and protecting us. Appreciate being on your show with you. Take it easy, buddy.
Ephraim Fasaha with Boon Boona Coffee, everyone. That's all we have from downtown tonight. Special thanks to the Renton reporter for doing the actual reporting. I'm Erasmus the Dragon, soaring high with DTR News 1. Good evening, I'm Erasmus the Dragon with DTR News 1. Renton continues to churn out interesting stories, and here's some of my favorites. Renton police officers had their patrol vehicle stolen while stopping to question a man who was, get this, thought to be a car thief suspect. Seattle police found the stolen vehicle 30 minutes later and arrested the man a few blocks away. No damage occurred during the incident, and the vehicle was safely returned to the Renton Police Department. The 2020 census is still ongoing, and census takers are out in force and continue to search for Rentonites who have not been counted. Roughly 75% of the Renton population has completed the census. To encourage further completion, the city created 3 drive-thru locations that offered a $10 gift certificate as a reward for completing the census by the September 30th deadline. The city's Recreation and Neighborhoods Division completed another successful campaign, the Renton Summer Games. This consisted of a variety of challenges that pitted citizens against each other for the glory of being crowned a champion. These at-home challenges included a quarter spin, water balance walk, and ping pong pan. Congrats to our champions. And finally, smoke. Lots of smoke.
close this episode with a shout out to the Renton Downtown Partnership for sponsoring the show. Your generosity astounds me, and I thank you. Here's some of RDP's upcoming events. There's the Lost Treasure of Erasmus happening now. Wait, what?
Hello.
There's Fall in Love with Renton, which is a curated box event featuring items from downtown businesses, and an old-fashioned Halloween scavenger hunt throughout downtown. So for a fun-filled day, come visit downtown Renton. I'm Erasmus the Dragon, soaring high with DTR News 1. Good evening, and welcome to Renton Weird. I'm your host, Erasmus the Dragon. Tonight, we're going to share a story so strange, so confounding, it couldn't possibly be true. Or could it? We present to you, Night of the Living Hydrants. This story begins in 2016 when the South Renton Neighborhood Association and the Renton Municipal Arts Commission collaborated on a new public art campaign of uniquely painted fire hydrants.
This idea is brilliant. People will love these.
I think I'll paint one.
There's not enough for everyone, Gerald. Whoa. The campaign was well received by the people of Renton, and the first hydrant makeover was unveiled as Engineer George.
Excuse me?
During the following months, more artists joined the campaign, and painted hydrants began to appear throughout South Renton, and were widely celebrated by the community. In a twist of irony, the artists and public didn't understand that these were more than just works of art. By painting the hydrants, the artists brought them to life. Over time, people began to notice oddities when they encountered the hydrants. Slowly, stories began to come out. Whispers of impossible and unexplainable moments. Fate, so it seems, arrived in late March of 2018. The city experienced an unforeseen water main incident that caused a tremendous amount of pressure and overloaded the system.
Get the mayor on the phone!
Eventually, the extreme pressure caused the hydrants to blow off, freeing them from the bolts that bound them to the ground. And the hydrants didn't hesitate to seize their opportunity.
This kind of thing happens once in a blue moon, and it's nothing of concern.
The water main incident, the dramatis personae, being painted fire hydrants who were given new life and, in a sense, became free. This they did with vengeance. They had a taste of mobility, and they'll go on seeking that to the end of their days and beyond. In Renton Weird.
Live from Renton, Washington, it's Nerd and Wells, starring Erasmus the Dragon.
This weekend will be full of leftovers and napping, but more importantly, shopping and the arrival of Small Business Saturday. In honor of this tradition, we traveled throughout Renton and visited some of my favorite small businesses. Check it out. Our first stop emerged recently and has a novel concept, Apparition Books. They have a spectacular collection of used books, and a visit is bound to expand your mind. Here we are at the pencil test, who's ready to support you with all your Brazier needs. Welcome to Re-Rack, a one-stop shop for all your vehicle rooftop rack systems. Next is my divine neighbors, the Forest Sisters Holistic Remedies. Step inside to discover a magical world of crystals, minerals, herbs, spices, and metaphysical supplies. A few doors down, we find ourselves at Wildwood Creative, a stimulating establishment focused on bringing conceptions to life with unique fabrics, patterns, and notions. Next, we've arrived at GHY Bikes, which peddles a variety of rad cycling items. Sparkle is poised to catch your eye, definitely one of my go-tos for unique gifts and whatnots. Now we'll warp over to D-Pad Retro Gaming, a special antique store where gamers can select and start their own vintage game collection. Keeping all treasure hunters in mind, here we are at another seller of beautiful relics. Antiques for you. They also offer delicious ciders. You can arrange your day around a stop at Cugini's or plant yourself in urban sprouts. Either way, you're sure to leaf with something green. Other Renton flower shops on my list are Evergreen Market, Buddy's, and Emerald Haze. Now let's get to some food and drink options. The Whistle Stop Ale House serves up signature sandos, house-made soups, and tantalizing burgers, all to be enjoyed in their newly expanded outdoor patio. Moving on to Vince's, creator of authentic Italian food, Provate gli spaghetti con le polpette. Bellissimo! Stopping at Cedar River Smokehouse, for all you barbecue fans, it's a big deal. One of Renton's best-kept secrets is our amazing variety of taquerias. I highly recommend El Kiosco. El burrito del desayuno es delicioso. Diving into adult beverages, there's Four Generals Brewing, and they pour a variety of German crafted beers. Making their debut earlier this year is Bickerson's Brewhouse. Their IPAs, sours, and stouts will leave patrons bickering as to which is the best. Here's Vino at the Landing, where aficionados seek the latest vintage. And not to dub down, there's Dubtown, a brewing company that's slinging sodas, ciders, and beers, oh my. For a little pick-me-up, there's Boon Boona Coffee, Liberty Cafe, Refuel, and another new small business, the Rose Gift House and Coffee. And now for some establishments that make a statement, like Obelisk Piercing, Sweet Pea Beauty, here's Ascendance, a non-profit pole and aerial studio. Handsome Devil Link is offering tats for beautiful dames and Diablos. Vigor Ground Fitness will have you repping to build a better body. And Abyssinia, who offers their clients a touch of style. Our final stop on tonight's tour is right here beneath me, at River Valley Cheese. They've transformed their shop into a Support Your Makers market. This sim market is open Thursday through Sunday and offers goods from local artists. So shop smart, shop small, and support your local Renton small business throughout the year. Thanks for joining me. I'm Erasmus the Dragon, and we'll see you next month here at Third and Well.
This is Johnny Grump, Renton's town crier, strutting down the street yelling,
2020 is a dumpster fire. This year sucks. This year blows.
He wailed out in vain. His words moved through the streets, causing disdain. Townspeople ignored him as long as they could, until they had their fill and called out his falsehood.
Listen here, Grump. We need to inspire.
2020 is fine. It's not a dumpster fire.
The townspeople began to share some of the ways how the year is full of silver linings, and to reject the malaise.
Yes, it's a drag. You can't be in your favorite shop.
With curbside pickup, your couch is the chill spot.
Not excited for another Zoom meeting. Believe me, I know.
But now it's business on top and pajamas below.
We all want to embrace our families without cause.
Though, it's been so much easier to avoid the in-laws.
Wearing a mask? What's the big deal?
It can hide a booger.
Or food in your grill.
Who isn't tired of staying home every day and all night?
Now I have time to master a new language.
Or become a playwright.
The townspeople made a case for a silver lining year. The crier didn't listen. Their words fell on deaf ears.
This year sucks. This year blows.
He bellowed a shout, his conviction maintained, with passion and flout. The townspeople realized there's no more words they could say. Johnny Grump will never change. This is his way. And the townspeople did something that might make you groan. They accepted Johnny Grump for who he is, as one of their own.
Look, it's Johnny Grump.
That's his best yell.
He's our town crier. Give him a bell.
And the townspeople cheered and danced around with glee to celebrate this thing they call a community.
This episode is sponsored by
the Renton Downtown Partnership.